Okay, here's my sound preferences. I like a variety of different tunings, but really what gets my juices flowing, starting from the lower octaves, is in the bass. I like my bass punchy, tight, fast with a kick. I like a little bit of energy down there, maybe a little bit of warmth, but not too much getting into bass bleeding. It's got to have enough weight to make male vocals, make piano, cello, percussions, have the right tonality. When it comes to my mids, I do like my mids and mid clarity, but I don't like too forward a mid, so that's the upper mids I'm talking about. So keep the pinna gain down a little bit and not make it too forward a presentation. And when it comes to the highs, I do like my sparkly highs. At my age, I'm probably losing a little bit of the high frequencies, but not too much where it's sibilant and in your face. So that's what I like. Did an unboxing. You can check that out. You get this nice, beautiful alligator-looking skin. Not real alligator. No, it's fake. So no alligators died in the making of this case. Melody Wings did a good job, though. Kind of love that. You get that 4-core oxygen-free copper cable, modular. Very nice. You get flush 2-pin. You also get, for your $328, one 10-millimeter biocellulose dynamic driver. You're getting one, I think it's a larger one, bone conduction driver, the elastic kind. You know that because you tap on the shell and it vibrates. And there's 4 balanced armatures in here for the mids and highs. Now, you do also get larger resin shells. So I'm going to warn you about that right now. And I did take some pictures of this compared to a few others like the Theaudio Monarch Mark IV and the BGVP Solomon. This is by far a bigger shell, so if you do not have medium large ears, these might be too big for you. So also the stainless steel nozzles are quite honestly massive. They're 6.39 millimeters. And it was quite honestly hard to fit some ear tips, and I need to downgrade. Like here I'm using the medium size tips, and I normally take a large into, what are these? Here with the Neptune, Melody Wings decided to go a slightly different direction than the Venus and the Jupiter in its tuning. Jupiter was rocking a super wicked V with plenty of bass, plenty of upper mids, really very engaging IM. The Venus was more balanced out and more mid-bass over sub-bass kind of tuning, that kind of vibe it had. Where the Neptune has decided it wanted to focus in on clear and clean vocals, starting from the lower bass. So here, Melody Wings has tuned the Neptune with a leaner sub-bass focused sound, trailing off the lower mid-bass energy at around 150 hertz. It makes it for a very clean and clear vocal presentation. Now, I will say, first listen out of the box, the Neptune was sounding a bit thin in its note weight for male vocals and lower instrument presentation. That did fill out a little bit with some time on it, with some burn-in, about 2 days on the burn rack. And I'm happy to report that the bone conduction driver that's supposed to help out with the bottom end finally came out to play and fill out some of that area. It's important to note also, though, your choice of ear tips is going to play a major part in your experience with the Neptune, for sure. The firmer umbrellas, you're going to get more of the bone conduction effect, And with softer umbrellas like the Baroque stage, I found it was less of an experience. So I settled with the Divinus wide bore tips for me in a size down that I normally use because of that colossal size of the nozzle. I was actually getting pain from my normal size, large, medium, large size that I use. So I had to step down a size in order to get it more comfortable. Mid-bass has a decent texture. I still prefer more mid-bass slam, but that's more of my personal preferences. I still wish for a tad bit more note weight for male vocals and instrumental like piano and percussion. But on the flip side, the clarity you get in the mid-range is simply stand out. For the female persuasion, here the tonality is spot on. Strings have great energy and composition. Melody Wings has expertly tuned to have a sibilance dip at that 6 to 7K area, doing it a great job of making sure there's still plenty of treble energy up there in the right places, with lots of information, some great air, some great details and presence. Electric guitar and wind instruments are wonderful, but you don't get that sharp sibilance you could get if they didn't do that little bit of a dip and reduce some of that energy up into that region. While this tuning won't be for everyone, nor will it lend itself to all genres. There is no doubt for some people who prioritize kind of clean vocals, detailed instrumental over a lush musical experience will really, really gravitate towards this set. The larger shells and the large nozzles is something Melody Wings probably needs to address because for smaller ears, it's simply not going to work. Even for me, long listening sessions are a no-go for my ears. It just feels too full. Overall, I think if you like this kind of tuning, it's a really standout IM for the price that they're asking. Melody Wings has always come to the table with excellent value in their selections, and I think the Neptune is no exception. Stepping up with nice case, nice cable, all of the accessories at a very, very competitive price point at the $328. I think it competes very, very well with out there. And in for the clarity and the details and what it does bring, especially with a bone conduction driver. I think this set to me is like a high-end Pula PA02 with the bone conduction drivers. I think here you get a very nuanced, very clean, squeaky clean sounding IM. There is no coloration or warmth to this set, and for some people who are going to love that, absolutely. And what you are going to get in that price point is something that I think Melody Wings has done really well and is going to be quite standout in that space. This is a Tone Deaf Monk. Thank you for watching. I'm out for now.